Let me break down exactly what the FHA loan is, how it helps home buyers, and why in some cases you should not use the FHA loan. Stay tuned. FHA is a loan program offered by the Federal Housing Administration that makes it easier for home buyers to be able to afford a home when compared to a conventional loan. Even though the FHA loan is easier to qualify for, in some cases you should not use the FHA loan. Stick with me to the end and I'll tell you why. Before we get into the requirements of an FHA loan, first let's clear up some common misconceptions out there. The first and biggest misconception is that FHA loan is only available to first-time homebuyers. In reality, anyone can use an FHA loan even if you've previously owned a home before. The only catch is that you must at least live in the property for 1 year. The next misconception is that you can only use the FHA loan to buy a single family home. Actually, you can use an FHA loan to buy up to a 4-unit property as long as you live in at least one of them for a year. The next misconception is that you can buy pretty much any property with an FHA loan like you can a conventional loan. The truth, however, is in order for you to buy a home with an FHA loan, that home must be able to pass an FHA inspection and it must be what FHA calls move-in ready. And lastly, a common misconception is that the FHA loan is the cheapest option out there available to you. This is actually false, and I'll explain why later in the video. Now that we've cleared up some common misconceptions, let's talk about the requirements for the FHA loan. First, you must live in the property for at least 1 year. Next, the FHA loan requires that you put down 3.5% of the purchase price as a down payment, and you have to have a credit score of at least 580. Next, the home must be able to pass an FHA inspection, and it must be what FHA calls move-in ready. The home has to have no safety issues. So for instance, the heating must be in good order, the plumbing, the electricity must be in good order, there can be no broken windows, and another pet peeve of FHA is that they do not like peeling paint. So if you're in a home with a lot of peeling paint, most likely it will not pass an FHA inspection. This doesn't mean that the home has to be in brand new renovated condition. The home can be in older condition. However, everything once again must be in working order. Next, in order to qualify for an FHA loan, you have to have a debt-to-income ratio of no more than 43%. This means that your total monthly debt can be no more than 43% of your gross monthly income, and this includes the mortgage that you're applying for. And lastly, FHA does have limits when it comes to the amount of money they will loan out. These limits vary depending on where you live, so make sure to check what the limits are in your area. The FHA loan is easier to qualify for than conventional loans, which means it allows more people to be able to afford a home when they otherwise would not. Also, since the FHA loan is easier to qualify for, this means that you will be able to qualify for more money with an FHA loan than with a conventional loan. The FHA loans can give you more buying power because it can allow you to qualify for a higher amount. With that said, there are some cases where you should not use the FHA loan. Let me give you some examples. First, if you can qualify for a conventional loan in the price range that you're looking for, you should not use the FHA loan. You should actually use the conventional loan instead. Why? While it is true that the FHA loan is easier to qualify for than a conventional loan, the FHA loan is actually more expensive than a conventional loan when you compare the mortgage payments. FHA loans often have higher interest rates than conventional loans, which means that your mortgage payments are going to be higher and you're going to pay more over the lifetime of that loan. And also, while FHA only requires a 3.5% down payment, there are some conventional loan programs out there that only require a 3% down payment, which is cheaper than FHA. You just have to be able to qualify for it. Another case where you should not try to use an FHA loan is if you're looking to buy a fixer-upper. Remember that the home has to pass an FHA inspection in order for you to be able to qualify for that loan. While there are some general rules on what FHA is looking for in the inspection, in the end, it's kind of hard to predict. It really depends on the inspector, and sometimes they can be pretty picky. With a conventional loan, however, you don't have to worry about an FHA inspection and you can avoid that headache. Here's another scenario that you probably didn't think about or you may not know about. If you're looking to buy a condo, you should probably steer away from the FHA loan. While it's not impossible, it's very hard to find a condo that qualifies for an FHA loan. With condos, the entire homeowners association has to qualify for FHA, not just the unit. A lot of homeowners associations either do not qualify for FHA or they simply do not want to go to the process, so they just flat out don't accept FHA. This can make finding a condo that actually qualify for FHA kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. Once again, it's not impossible, but it's very challenging. Now, if you want to look at examples of some properties for sale in Chicago, check out my videos here.